Hello everyone, Don here back with the next progress report on my work Corsair. Just got done walking the beast. Right now it's like 13 degrees out. Wind chill is about 15 below zero. So, and we've got 4 to 6 inches of snow. Yesterday it was, I don't think it broke 20 degrees all day. Today, this morning, I get up, it's 5. Let's see if this thing will fog up on me when I get inside. First thing I need to do is unplug my heater. So yesterday I came out to start work, went in and got a diesel fuel for this thing, filled it up, fired it up, and I noticed lately that every time I try to run this after I fill it up, it only runs for a few minutes and then shuts off like it's tripping off for the temperature, but it's not. So it's been progressively getting worse, and I noticed that every time I fill it, it's worse, and as the fuel level goes down, then it gets better. So yesterday, because it was so damn cold, I decided to stop taking work on that. So I spent about a half hour on it yesterday, and just to keep the story short, there's a very small finger filter, funnel cup finger filter in the bottom of the pickup tube in the fuel tank. I took it out, and after opening everything up, I went over and cleaned everything, checked everything. Check the fuel lines and the air line. There's a built-in air pump that pumps 5-6 psi of air pressure to the nozzle, and it works like a paint gun. You blow air through it, and it siphons up the fuel. So the hoses up by the nozzle where the fuel go in and the air go in, they're affected by the heat most because it's inside the heater. So they tend to swell and get soft, and then they start leaking. They either leak air pressure, or the hose for the fuel pickup will suck air like a straw with a hole inside. It'll aerate the fuel like an emulsion tube in a carburetor. So I checked all those and everything looked fine, but I trimmed the hoses back, hooked them all back up. Cleaned the nozzle, took it apart, cleaned it, put it all back together. And then when I pulled the filter out, there was the problem. The whole filter is about 1 inch, 3/4 inch long, and it's a white plastic nylon looking thing. And it's very small. It probably isn't 3/16 inch in the ID, but it was like 3/4 full of crap. So I grabbed one of these blue shop towels, set it here, and grabbed the hose and carefully blew air through from the outside of the thing inside and blew the stuff out onto the cloth and looked at it. And it looked like lint. It was definitely fibrous lint looking, kind of like the lint you get out of your belly button after a while. So, cleaned it all up, put it back together, and it's been running perfect ever since. And it starts instantly now. Before it'd hesitate, sometimes it wouldn't fire because of it. So, yesterday I decided to reroute my mixture control cable. Before I had this is the original base plate, but I had a little teardrop sticking out here, and it came down through this way, arched up over top and down. But the problem is coming out of there, turning and turning up over to here, it had a lot of drag in it. So now what I did is I took this off and I cut that piece back out of the way, put it in lathe, turned it up clean, and then I redesigned this. And what I got here is a 3/16 inch rod end bolted to a little piece of aluminum bracket underneath. Goes 2 screws up into the base plate. It's all Loctited, and then there's a bolt back here bolting this rod end in place, and that's again Loctited. So then I have this little, it's a bicycle cable fitting that just fit in that hole, bolted it in there. And the nice thing with this is it can move. And the idea is when this pulls this cable goes through an arc. And this thing, if it's in there straight, you're bending this thing to push it down to that full retard or max rich position. So when this thing arcs through there, this is free to pivot up and down, and it can go in and out too because it's a Heim joint, just ball joint. And then I got one tie wrap here. So it's a nice clean straight all the way from the instrument panel, around to here, into there, down to there. So let me go ahead and see if I can hold this out far enough where you can see. Hopefully you can see it, but grab the button here. It's hard to see this thing from the side. If I can find it. It's kind of a long reach, but if you watch there's full lean, basically fuel cutoff at that point, and it pushes real easy. So let me show you here up close. That's full full lean, a little farther, pull a little farther, but that's full lean, and then pulling her back down. So, but you can see how that thing can move, how it moves up and down. So I spent, you can see how that cable is flexing up and down as this cable pulls straight. So works real good, and it's before it was really hard pulling. And then the other thing I had to do was make a 1/4 inch spacer, because I had to get this to clear. Well, this clears fine, but this arm, when it was all the way up, was hitting the base of the plate. So I had to raise it 1/4 inch. So I spent the day yesterday fiddling with that. Got it all back together today, testing, and worked great now. So then the second thing I did, well, that was yesterday and today, and then the other thing is I got my lights glued in with just some RTD to hold it in place, and I got the power wires hooked back up to it, so that works. They work now, but I'm gonna, before I tie wrap any wires, I'm gonna let that set a good day to let that RTV set. So let's see, it should be red, green, or green, red, excuse me. So you can see the green, reds. And it's not bad out here today. It's in the it's probably, you know, good 70 degrees in here. I want to make sure that stays in there. But so that's what I got done yesterday and today. And then the last thing I mentioned, working on these inlets. So I ended up peeling most of the paint and such off of the foam here. Got it right back down to the main foam, sander down. This is a little thick here, so it couldn't be dug out all the way. But I'm gonna fill it all in with microbloom, real thick microbloom, not a slurry, but a real thick, almost like a Bondo filler. So, and what I did is I bent up a couple pieces of flashing, and let me lay down here. So I just got a Z bend in it, as you can see. There's about an inch here, bend up to there, and then back to here. That's just to keep this edge nice and square. Now I just only have the bottom taped in right now, but I'll pull this up somehow and put some tape, pull this up somehow and tape it up in there to keep them in the exact, each of them in the same positions, same size, same as over here. Just kind of hold these up, keep them there, and then I've got some plumber's putty that I may try to put in the back of these and the edges or something, just to kind of seal it on each end on the inside. So if the slurry is, the microbloom is thin enough, it will sag and it will come out anywhere that it has a groove. So that's just my that flashing I bought. I peeled this piece off that was in here. I got in here with a knife, cut it, and pulled it out. So this piece up here is because I need to get that flashing in there. Alright, let me get back up. Still can't put my weight on that right shoulder. So you can kind of see it back in there. It's probably a little too far back that I may need to trim it, but it's just taped on right now. I'm not going to do it today. I really need a little bit of warmer weather. Come on, light. Sorry, folks. There we go. Need a little bit warmer weather for the epoxy I have. It'll have to be done like earlier in the day once I come out and warm up the garage, get it up to temperature, and then just leave the torpedo heater going and my oven going. Right now I turn the oven off. I can turn that fan off now too. I turned it off early before I walked the dog. Let me make sure to unplug this heater too. It might want to kick on if I didn't already unplug it. Oh, it's good. So that's where I'm at. I will come this weekend. I think they're calling for a little bit of a warm-up sometime. Warm-up being close to 30. Like I say, I can get it warm in here, but everything, when it sits overnight, you know, will get down to, you know, 20, 30 degrees of temperature. So even though you can get the heat in here quick, as soon as that turns off, everything cools down real quick because everything is soaked with cold. So to use this epoxy, I'm going to have to get it out here, get it warmed up, make the stuff, put it in there, and then just leave the heat on all day long, maybe turn it up so it gets even hotter in here. I may bring the heater down here somewhere to blow across to get the heat concentrated up here to help cure that stuff. Because this is a slow cure, which is medium cure epoxy, which is meant for summertime weather. It's not recommended below 70 degrees, and it's probably only 70 degrees in here now. But I can make it warmer, but it's got to stay above that 70 degrees. And then of course, all this stuff is cold. It's not freezing cold, but just from working out here all day, it's moderately cool. So that's all I managed to get done. This took a while. I had to chuck this up in the lathe, trim the edge, and then clean up the center hole. And then I made this piece. I thought about cutting it out on CNC, but I was like, well, I'll just rip it on the table saw, square it up, throw it in the lathe on the 4-jaw, bore the hole. I used the hole saw, took it out to 2 3/8, and then bored it. Used the boring bar to clean it up to 2 1/2. And then I took a piece of 2-inch exhaust tubing from the Mustang there, and it fit in there perfect. I had to basically pound it in with a hammer to get it to go through this piece and into that piece. Lined it up, and then I just punched through the holes from to match this up, and then bolted everything on. So that's a work of art for it, folks. I love it. So next weekend here, I'll get this stuff finished, dammed up, and I'm probably going to fill it with the micro balloons, like I said, and then I'm going to probably put 1 or 2 layers of fiberglass cloth on here, just some regular plain weave fiberglass to help stiffen that and run it over this front edge a little bit. But and that'll make it more stiff than before. I mean, using the micro balloon, not micro balloons, but the epoxy with the cotton flocks, it could make a pretty hard edge, but it'll still just flake off and break off. So I'll probably just put a little bit of fiberglass over this, and then once it's done, I'll blend it all in. And when I mix up, and then I'll come in and fill all around this plywood to blend that all in. Inside too, up inside, I want to fill in some of the plywood gaps. So. Alright, so I guess that's going to do her for this one. Try to keep this one a little short again, so I'm under my 18-minute window. I'm at 12 and a half minutes now. So I think that's all I got to report. Mainly worked on that most of the day yesterday and a bunch today. Did that, and then I just did this before I took the dog out for a walk. So I spent half hour, 45 minutes prepping that for making those pieces. So I probably close to an hour by the time I got to that point. So alright, I guess that's going to do her. I'm trying to think if there's any other comments that needed anything. A couple times people keep asking about the vertigo, and as of right now, it's, as far as I can tell, it's completely gone. I do not feel or have felt anything of it. If I try to turn too quickly, left or right at times, it might throw me off a little bit, but that's typical for anybody. If you just sit there, if you stand and just spin a couple times, it'll make you dizzy. So that's kind of like that. I just got to build a tolerance back up to any kind of quick moving and turning around. So otherwise, the only thing left is the alternator wire, and tie up some wires in there when that's done. Get the gas tank, get some sealant to seal up a couple of the screws that seem to be leaking. I'll do them all, and then I can drop the tank back in. Well, I got to put the hoses in after this is done before the tank go on, but I'd like to get the thing running again just to hear it run. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do her. I'm going to go ahead and make this a short one, shorter than normal, but all right. Well, I guess that's it. So, again, always appreciate everybody taking time to watch my videos. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns. As always, don't be afraid to leave comments, and we will get back out here on the weekend. The rest of this week tomorrow is supposed to be cold again, but it's just this whole week has just been nasty cold. So I got to go back to work tomorrow, and last week it was just freezing rain, snow, and what a mess that was. Today it's just cold, just utterly cold. All right, everybody, that's going to do her. I will catch you guys again more than likely next Sunday. So for now, this is Dan and Don out.